Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Read from the verse 11. Yadaksharam veda vido vadanti vishanti yad yatayo vitaragaha yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena pravakshye sarvadvarani sanyamya manorudhi nirudhya cha murdnyadhayatmanah pranam asthito yogadharana Omityekaksharam brahma Vyaharan mamanusmaran Yah prayati tyajan deham Sayati paramam gatim. Omiti ekaksharam brahma. Akshara means syllable also. Akshara means immutable also. Om iti ekaksharam, the single syllable, Om, that stands for Akshara, immutable Brahman. So what Akshara reveals two things. Akshara means the syllable. Akshara also is immutable. Om, that stands for immutable, which is here represented by a single syllable, word Om. So this is a simple, short mantra. Perhaps one of the shortest mantra. We said last time that shorter the mantra is easier it is to repeat. And that can so shortest mantra, Om, 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 Ekaksharam Brahma, which is one single syllable, and also which means Brahma or immutable. Vyaharan, uttering, Mamanusmaran. So as the word is uttered, Lord Krishna says that, remembering me. Meaning that as the word is uttered in the mind, the meaning of the word also flashes in the mind. And so that the connection between the word and the meaning has been established in the mind. By repeating this Om for a great length of time, so in the mind now that connection is established that when I utter Om, what flashes, the meaning that flashes is Brahman. So Lord Krishna is Mam Anusmaran, remembering me, who is Brahman, Param Brahman. Yah prayati tyajan deham, who depart from this body, sayati paramam gatim, he attains the paramam gatim, the supreme goal. Although here, the paramagati is not attainment of Param Brahma, because yati attains, Param Brahma is my very nature, it is already attained, therefore it is not to be attained. So when attainment comes, it implies that I am attaining something different from me. Therefore, here also, Paramam Gatim, attaining the Paramagati, the supreme Gati, the supreme end or goal, has to be something attainable. And therefore it stands here for the Brahmaloka, the world of Brahma, the highest world. So as we said that, because it is still a certain kind of karma. Repeating in the mind, upasana is meditation. The highest gati that you gain by meditation is attainment of Brahmaloka. So all subsequent Vaishnava acharyas have emphasized this. All of them have prescribed or have specified attainment of a loka. The Vaishnava acharyas will talk about Vaikuntha. Shiva acharyas will talk about the Kailasa, Saketa. So these are the different realms which the acharyas say that we will reach. And that is attainment of Brahman according to them. So all these traditions that are based on duality, whether it is Vishishta Brahma, Vishishta Advaita or Advaita, all the traditions other than Advaita emphasize upasana. Upasana or mental worship or meditation. And all of them talk about attainment of a world or realm. So you attain Vaikuntha, Goloka, Saketa, which are all different names for Brahmaloka. And each one of these traditions prescribes a certain method of upasana, a method of worshipping Ishvara. They give it different names, different symbols, different methods. And therefore the highest goal that they teach is attaining Brahmaloka, which is called by different names in those different traditions. And that is what is meant here by Lord Krishna, that the highest attainment, as it is upasana, is attaining Brahmaloka. A question is asked now. Nanu vayu nirodha viduranam. So you are talking about the yogis who have attained such a siddhi or accomplishment that they can depart at will. That's called swechha mrityu. When Lord Krishna says that the yogi departs from this body uttering Om, that means that he is the one who decides when to leave from this body. That is called swechha mrityu, the mrityu which is under the control of the yogi, and he decides when I want to depart from here. Nanu vayu nirodha vidurana. What about us who haven't got that accomplishment that I can, I don't have that accomplishment that I can depart from this body at my will. Kintu karma kshenaiva paravasah deham tyajati. So thus here Yoga Shastra talks about swechha mrityu as was described for the earlier yogi who departs at his will. But here the question is, what about us who haven't gained that kind of a mastery over ourselves? And therefore we do not have the ability to decide when we will leave this body. Deham tektum swechya na shaknoti. Not able to depart from this body at his will. Kintu karavakshayane paravaso deham tyajati. So we are not those great yogis who have accomplished the ability to depart at our will. We will depart only when the death comes as a result of the exhaustion of prarabdha karma. Meaning that So typically, when does the death occur? When the prarabdha karma is exhausted. Is my prarabdha karma the destiny that brought this body into existence? And the body will continue to exist as long as the prarabdha karma is. When prarabdha karma is exhausted, then this body also will die. Meaning that what determines the death of the body? Not I, but my prarabdha karma. So, what was described earlier were the yogis who had the freedom or the ability to depart at their will, for whom all this Brahmaloka and everything was described. What about us who don't have that kind of an ability? Karmakshena paravasho deham tyajati. That I will depart this body paravasha, not swatantra. Not by my will, it will be determined by the exhaustion of the prarabdha karma. Tasya kim syat. So what will happen to him? What about someone who has not gained that kind of accomplishment of an earlier yogi? So now in the verse 14, Lord Krishna tells the rest of us as to what to do. Ananyacheta satatam yo mam smarati nityashaha tasyaham sulabhah partha nityayuktasya yoginah. Yo mam smarati satadam smarati. Lord Krishna says, one who remembers me constantly, nityashaha, all the time. So three conditions are stated here. One who remembers me constantly, remembers me all the time, and for a great length of time. So, dirghakalatvam, for a long time. Nairantaryam, constantly remembering. Adarena, with commitment, with devotion, he remembers. So, Yoga Shastra says that for the successful accomplishment of any such thing, you require three factors. Dirghakalam, for a long time the effort must be made. Satatam, constantly it must be made. Adarena, with commitment, with devotion, it must be made. So here also Lord Krishna is Satatam, all the time. Nityashaha, means long time. So one who thus remembers me with devotion all the time for a great length of time. This is a way of becoming one with Ishvara. So remembering Ishvara is presented here or prescribed here as a way of becoming one with Ishvara. Because ultimately the name of Ishvara will bring the meaning also in our mind in course of time. So reason why they say do it for a long time, all the time, and with commitment and devotion, is so that slowly, in course of time, that name of the Lord will bring its meaning also in the mind. Ananya chetaha, one whose chetas of the mind does not get distracted to anything else. Remember, all this comes by practice. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamena, the 8th verse said earlier, that abhyasa is a yoga. Repeating is a yoga here, repetition. So, Even though in the beginning we may not have all these qualifications of devotion, etc., but keep doing it. Then, this is the, at some point in time, even Gaudavada Acharya says that controlling mind is next to impossible. How can you accomplish that? Then a story is being told. There is a small little bird called Tittari. What is that bird? The Tittari bird. Little bird is there. This bird has a habit of laying eggs on the ground. So this one laid eggs near the ocean. Husband said, hey, you are doing it at the wrong place. The ocean will sweep away your eggs. So no, he won't. And she laid her eggs there anyway. And surely the ocean swept away the eggs. And this mother bird is extremely angry. He says, oh, you've taken away my eggs. I'll recover, I will retrieve them. I'll dry you up, she says. So in her beak, take one drop, one drop, one drop. She was just divorced. Other people, other birds said, what are you doing? I'm going to dry up the ocean because he's taken away my eggs. How can you dry up the ocean? I'm going to, you see. So out of pity for that little thing, other birds also joined, And now you have a huge number of people, birds, with little drop by drop. It seems sage Narada was passing by there. He saw this. So he went to Garuda, the king of the birds. Said, look what ocean is doing to your subjects. Ocean has, he has taken away the eggs, swept away the eggs, and see what is happening to our subjects. Because Garuda is the king of all the birds. He says, yeah, really? So Garuda came. It's a huge, his wings. When he started doing that, the ocean started drying. So ocean thought that now I have no way, I will get dried up. So he came and offered the eggs. So the idea is that even that little bird, drop by a drop, help will come. That you will to even accomplish the task of drying the whole ocean. It's also like that. Ananya cheta satatam. When will it happen, Lord, that my mind is constantly focused upon you? The way I see it now, it is so restless, so unsteady. You keep, that's all. You devotedly keep with your effort, that's all. Stick to your effort. Satatam yomam smrati nityashaha. Ananya chetaha, the one whose mind does not waver and focused upon me, who keeps on repeating constantly for a long time. Tasyaham salabha partha nityayuktasya yoginah. Tasya nityayuktasya yoginah. Of that yogi, nityayukta. Yukta means joined. That yogi who is united with me, nityayuktasya, who is constantly united with me. That constant union will not happen overnight. But satatam nityashaha ananya chetaha. So first is a matter of commitment, a matter of value, that this is what I want. I want that my mind should merge with Ishvara. Why do you want? That's the only worthwhile goal in my life. There's no other worthwhile goal. This is what the bhakta discovers, that there is no worthwhile goal in life other than merging to Ishvara. If that conviction has come, that's called viveka, then vairagya will come. What in fact drags my mind away from its object of meditation is ragadveshas, attachments and aversions. But when there is a conviction that this is all I want, when the viveka is there, then vairagya comes. Viveka means discovering what the real goal is and a commitment to that goal. That's called viveka. Viveka means what is it that I am seeking in my life? What do I want in my life? What is most important in my life? And when conviction comes that what I am seeking, what is important is only Ishvara, that is the desire behind all the desires, even though my mind is desiring small things all the time. When I pay attention to what my mind really wants, what is the reason that in spite of fulfilling so many desires, the mind continues to remain a desiring entity? What is the desire behind all the desires? How come in spite of fulfilling so many desires, the mind continues to remain dissatisfied? What is it? What does it want? When I realize that what the mind wants is Ishvara. So that is the first discovery, to understand our own self. That the mind comes up with desires, but then mind has some difficulty. It is struggling with something. Struggling with not understanding what it wants. And therefore it comes up with new ideas. When I realize that what it wants is Ishvara, then that is the most important goal in my life. And that's the only thing that deserves to be the goal. Then vairagya will come. So this is viveka. Viveka is discovering what is real goal in my life. What is it that I am seeking? And more I understand the value of that, more important that becomes, then other things become less and less important. Vairagya means discovering the lack of importance of other things. So as this becomes more and more important, other things become less and less important. That is ananya cheta. The mind will want to stay with something which is most valuable. It is not yet discovered that this is the most valuable. As it discovers, it will have its own incentive to stay. We can all the time force mind, do this and that. Doesn't work too long. Mind should discover its own priority. What is it that it wants? Then it cooperates with us. Otherwise, it wants to run there and I want to pull it back. That process doesn't work for too long. So, Yomam, the one who has discovered this, that to be the only worthy goal in my life. And then the vairagya is there for other things. It is raga and dvesha that in fact pull my mind away. More vairagya meaning that less and less raga dveshas for others. Yo mam smarati nityashaha. And therefore the nityashaha smaranam becomes possible. More important this becomes. This should not be simply a mechanical practice of repeating, but then it should be accompanied with viveka and vairagya also. And ideally we should also discover rasa in what it is that we are repeating. Rasa or pleasure in what it is that I am seeking. Then these conditions, ananya chetaha satatam yomam smarati nityashaha, one whose mind does not waver, doesn't swerve from me, and who constantly remembers me. Tasyaham sulabha partha. He partha, tasya nitya yuktasya yoginaha aham sulabha. That yogi who is always united with me, I'm easy to gain. But nitya yuktasya yoginaha, meaning that when one gets all the time united with me. So what is the bond that unites the bhakta with Bhagavan is bhakti. Is that commitment? That comes by viveka of bhakti we have. Right now my bhakti is all scattered into many places. I have devotion for what I think is important in my life anyway. More I make my mind understand that what you consider important are not important things, I make the mind see the real important thing is only Ishvara. More and more my mind understands, more and more the mind would want to remain with that object. Tassud ananya chetaha satadam, Lord Krishna says, but that is an accomplishment that takes a long time, to be one whose mind is constantly centered upon Ishvara. Yomam smrati nityasha, whose mind does not get distracted into anything. Tasyaham sulabha partha, tasya nityuktasya yoginaha, the yogi is always united with me. I am sulabha, I am easy to attain. Those conditions are not easy. Once they accomplish those conditions, then sulabha, easy to attain. But here Lord Krishna gives us an alternative. Earlier thing was very intimidating. All this prana were hard and going on. We get scared, it's not for us. Very intimidating. So therefore Lord Krishna gives a sweeter way of all that will happen automatically. As the mind becomes focused in Ishvara, if that has to happen, it doesn't matter. So here also Madhusudanji says that it is not important. Yavad jivam pratikshanam vikshepantar shunyataya bhagatnam chintanameva. Meaning, as long as we are alive, Bhagavad Chintanam, remembering Ishvara without any distraction, Paramagati Hetu, that's all. So what is the cause or means of attaining Bhagavan is constant remembrance. Not whether you conquer your prana, etc. is not important. Murdanyaya nadya tu swechaya pranotkravanam bhavatu nava. Whether the prana depart from the murdanya, from crown of the head or not is not important. Important is that you constantly remember. So that's why Lord Krishna said in the 14th verse that the one who remembers me all the time and constantly, and add with devotion, of course, bhaktya. Tasyam sulabha, he partha, for him I am easy to attain. Tava saulabhyana kim syat. Lord Krishna says, I am sulabha, I am easy to attain, meaning that other things are more difficult to attain. I am easy to attain because basically I am the self of you, and that it's a matter of your discovering that you are always a devotee of something that is important to you. You discover that Ishvara is the most important and my devotion is naturally centered on that. Tasyaham sulabha, I am easy to attain. So what? Suppose we attain you, so what will happen, Bhagavan? Tava saulabhyana kim syat, that you are easy to attain. So then what happens? What's the advantage? Shrunu tan mama saulabhyena yad bhavati. If Arjuna asks this question, then Lord Krishna says, listen, what happens by mama saulabhyam, that I am easy to attain. So see what happens when you easily attain me. The verse 15 says, Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanah samsiddhim paramam gataha. Mam upetya, having attained me, mahatmanah punarjanmana apnuvanti. When they attain me, the Mahatmas, they do not, na apnavanti, they do not attain. They no more have to worry about being born again. Meaning that attaining me, the Mahatmas, my bhaktas, my devotees become free from the need to be born again. So what's wrong with being born again? There's a question. I want to be born again, Swami. Why do you define moksha is not freedom from birth and death? I want to be born again. People have told me. So therefore Lord Krishna says, what does it mean to be born again? Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Understand that this next birth, or any birth for that matter, is dukkhalayam. Even manushya deha also. So aliyante yasmin dukkhani dukkhalayam. So that which is the ashraya, the very abode of all dukkha, all sorrow. Looks like, the Vedantins seem to describe things in a negative way. Swamiji, you seem to take away the all joy of living. You are saying that the human birth is dukkhalayam, the very alaya means the adhara, means the very abode of all dukkha, abode of all sorrow. No, I don't find so. Yad janma dukkhanam ala mooda dushtya kinchit sukhalayatvevi. Mooda dushtya. From the perception of moodha or some deluded people, the janma, this life may look like something that yields happiness. That there is happiness in life, here it says mooda dushti, is only the perception or conclusion of a deluded person that this life gives me a lot of happiness. What it is dukkhalayam, it is nothing but the abode of all dukkha or sorrow. But Pujya Swami said, dukkham, 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 sukham. Dukkham, 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 sukham. It is like that man, you heard the story, who was once in a forest, and then all of a sudden he heard the roar of a tiger. And he saw a tiger behind, and he's going to chase, and he ran. Finding no way out, he found a well. He jumped into the well. It was a dry well. So as he was falling into the well, fortunately he found, he did not go all the way. He found some roots and he held on to them. So hanging in between. He says, above the tiger. He says, below, some snakes are there. And he found there were two rats who were cutting across those very, very roots that he was holding on to. This is a human life they describe. Because the two rats are the day and night, they are constantly cutting into the life. The death is waiting down there, and this fellow is hanging. And in the tree there is a honeycomb. For honeycomb, some drops of honey, honey is dropping. One drop a minute. Took. 1 minute. Took. This fellow stretched out his tongue to receive the drop of honey. Waiting for another minute. Not realizing what is at the bottom, what is at the top, what is in the present. So he thinks that the life is full of joy. I'm enjoying honey. Dukkhala, I'm not realizing that it is an abode of sorrow with the day and night, with the death, all sorts of things, and all these factors constantly acting on me. Although, see, there are ways of discussing. Depends on what it is that you want to convey. Here, because the agenda is to take our mind off this samsara and focus on Ishvara, therefore this is a description of samsara. And so when you understand samsara that way, then we are disillusioned, no Swami, now I realize. And that's why, so to get disillusionment from what we are preoccupied with in life. Because human being doesn't have time even to think. He's so busy from one activity to the other, from one accomplishment to the other, from one enjoyment of one sorrow to other, you never know. And still there is no time or opportunity to think about life. So this is where here Lord Krishna says dukkhalayam. Not to discourage us, don't describe life in a negative way, in a realistic way. Ye samsparshaja bhogaha dukkhayo nayavate adyantavantah kaunteya na teshu ramate buddha. Lord Krishna said in the 5th chapter that all those pleasures that you get from sense objects, by contact of the sense organs with sense objects, the kind of pleasure that you get is only a source of dukkha. Samsparshaja bhogaha dukkha yonaya, they are nothing but the cause of dukkha or sorrow. Na teshu ramate buddha. Therefore, a wise or thinking person never dwells upon that kind of a sukha or so-called pleasure coming from sense objects. Because he sees that what is contained there is nothing but sorrow. As long as the person does not discover that, so long of course he is behind that. But dukkhalayam, the human birth is said to be the very abode of dukkha or sorrow. And Bhagavan has done that way. See, basic cause of dukkha is right here. My perception of myself is the source of main dukkha, main source of dukkha. Because I am a self-conscious being, and from the birth I am conscious of myself. The self I am conscious of, I know that I am a limited being. I am a mortal being, I had a birth and I am going to die. I am limited in time, limited in place, limited in every way. Whatever aspect about myself I think of, I find myself limited. Memory-wise limited, this-wise limited, every-wise limited. And limitation itself doesn't bother me, but limitation identified or centered on me, that is the problem. That I am limited, that is something that makes me sad. And the cause of sadness is right there, my perception of myself, my conclusions about the myself. That I am a limited being. That is the cause of all sadness. Then you can add other sadness. We do not need for anything, and anything else for being sad other than to see that I am a limited being, and therefore I am a helpless person. I am limited, therefore I am helpless, meaning that I cannot always accomplish what I want. I cannot avoid what I do not want, and thus I am totally at disposal of the forces which are beyond my control. This is helplessness. And so, this is what human life is. Thank God that it is so, but that's how it is. From one standpoint, this looks like a very disappointing picture, but on the standpoint, it is meant to create vairagya for that. So reason why Lord Krishna describes also is so that we see, have a perspective of life for vairagya. Dukkhalayam, abode of sorrow, ashashvatam, impermanent. That means you cannot wait all the time. I'll do it later. So I must have told you this Mahatma. So this young couple, young man says, Swamiji, I'm going to get married. This is the wedding invitation or something. All blessings to you. Got married and came, Swamiji, give me Ashirvada. Sure. Here is the book on Gita. Read one verse every day. That will do. I have a long way to go, I don't have. After 1 year, he returns with his wife, says, now something new, I have taken life insurance. Really? Life insurance? Says, yeah, why? Well, you don't know what will happen, If something happens to me, then what will protect me? Okay. I thought yesterday you said that, last year, you said that I have nothing to have a long life. And today you are saying that what will happen to me, so my wife should be protected, And therefore, human mind being what it is, it knows. And so, ashashvatam, it is impermanent, unpredictable. And that is how it meant to be. Bhagavan has done it that way. Things are unpredictable. Not to always, unpredictability is a cause of fear, by the way, in our life. Cause of fear, uncertainty, unpredictability, what will it be next moment, I do not know, and therefore I am always apprehensive. But that's how Bhagavan is deliberately done. So that we realize that that's how it is. And dukkhalem, ashashvatam, it is impermanent. And so use your time. Janma mrityu jaravyadi dukkha dosham darshanam. In 13th chapter, Lord Krishna says, always think about this. Janma, mrityu, birth, death, old age, disease, sorrow, you are constantly passing through. Be aware of that. So that you know that you have a limited time. In that all these fellows are taking up a lot of your time, and therefore use your time well. So purpose of saying dukkhalem, ashashvatam, it is abode of sorrow, it is impermanent, is just so that you do not know how much time you have, and therefore use your time well. But na apnuvanti. So next birth will be like, if we are born again, you are only stuck with this. Dukkhalayam and ashashvatam. Na apnuvanti mahatma, those mamupetya. So what's the solution? Mamupetya, having attained me, punarjanma na apnuvanti mahatmana, the great soul ones, my devotees, they are not born again. So this is a big thing about Vedic dharma, Hindu dharma, is this business of birth and death. Other fellows don't believe in this anyway. They don't believe in previous birth, they don't believe in next birth, so they have no problem. Oh, they have no solution, whatever. Only those traditions that are born in India, they alone accept this law of karma. This law of karma, law of continuity. Law of karma means, anyway, that discussion will come subsequently also, but the point is that law of karma presupposes also continuity. That what I am in the present is a result of the past, and present is the result of what I did in the past. And accordingly, I should determine what I should do so that my future is proper. Therefore, Mahatmana, they are Mahatmas whose only goal is mamupetya, attained in me. Because having attained me, they are not born again. They do not have to be born again. Why does the birth take place? Birth takes place because our agenda is not complete. We are born with a certain agenda, understand. Swamiji, is there a purpose of this life? There is. Each one of us is born with an agenda. What's the agenda? Moksha is the agenda. Whether we have thought about it or not, but what we want is unconditional freedom. What we want is unconditional happiness is what we want, unconditional freedom is what we want. That's called moksha. So we are born knowingly or unknowingly with the agenda of moksha. If we recognize what the agenda is and direct our life properly for fulfilling the agenda, at least even if we don't fulfill the agenda, if our life is properly directed, then at least it's a worthwhile life. So, Mamupetya, Lord Krishna has attained in me, you do not have to be born again. Birth, Second, new birth or the punarjanma is only dukkhalayam, is the abode of sorrow, meaning you become free from sorrow. Here Arjuna, attaining me, you become free from sorrow. Napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gataha. Samsiddhim, the success, the great accomplishment. Paramam samsiddhim gataha. Those Mahatmas, the noble people, the great souled ones who have attained that paramam samsiddhim, the ultimate goal, supreme goal or supreme success. So what is success in life is Lord Krishna saying again, very often. Siddhi means success. Samsiddhim, the real success. Paramam samsiddhim, the ultimate success, is what? Mamapetya. Lord Krishna says, attaining me is the ultimate success of life. Why? Because that is our agenda. If we don't fulfill our agenda, next birth. There we have on the same agenda. If you don't accomplish that, just next birth. In this way, we have been passing through one after the other birth from time beginningless. Because agenda is not clear to us. Agenda should be clear, the end should be clear, and the means also should be clear. Which is what the Bhagavad Gita teaches. At least what we can do is to make the right effort. And then the outcome will be taken care of by Ishvara. Mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gataha. Lord Krishna says, hey Arjuna, ultimate goal is to reach me. Because essentially you are me. So reaching me also is not reaching someone different from me. Reaching me is to discover your own nature. And this way, see, imagine that I discover that I am Brahman. And Brahman means limitless. The limitless means the most exalted. To discover that I am the most exalted. Beginning from a point where right now I have no respect for myself, very low self-esteem, very low self-image. From that to rise to a point when I realize that I am the limitless. That's where we begin. Because we take the body to be ourselves, the mind to be ourselves, and so a limited entities to be ourselves, and so you find us insignificant. How can I have any respect for an insignificant entity? From then onwards to Mamapetya, discovering that limitlessness is my nature. Then Punarjanmana Apnuvanti, there is no agenda left now. The janma is necessary as long as agenda is left. The only agenda is Mamapetya, attainment of Ishvara. Sooner we realize what the agenda we have, then more committed we will be to the means of fulfilling that agenda. And so, when that agenda is achieved, Punarjanma is not required because your agenda is over. Lord Krishna says the Mahatmas, the great souled ones, Paramam Samsiddhim Kataha, those attain the ultimate success or ultimate Samsiddhim success, those attain the ultimate success. And other than that, there is no success also. What we call success is a temporary success, which only creates in me hunger for the next success, which creates with me and hunger, and thus it drives me from one success to the other. Paramam samsiddhim gataha. The ultimate success is this goal in the life. So, all along in the Bhagavad Gita, in one way or the other, Lord Krishna is teaching us and very boldly says, I am the goal. Attaining me, nothing remains to be attained. And that I am is not apart from me, I am is talking as my own self. Lord Krishna as myself is talking to me. Therefore all that is necessary is for me to attain myself. which means what? Recognizing that what I am seeking is to be discovered in myself, which means that it is not elsewhere. Atmasukaya saram priyam bhavati, as Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, that it is for the sake of self that other things are dear. You don't love anything for the sake of that, you love that because you love yourself. Discover the fact that basically what you love is yourself. Meaning that the source of happiness is only yourself. That was what was told to Maitreyi, so that Maitreyi's mind stopped wandering here and there. Hey Maitreyi, what is searching there is yourself. And once the mind becomes inward looking, becomes centered upon the self, is not very difficult to discover the nature of the self. Mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gataha. The Mahatmas attained this ultimate siddhi or ultimate success in their life. So with that we will conclude our discussion on the 8th chapter of the Gita with the 15th verse. And the other teachers will come along to continue with the 16th verse and forward. We will see you, I guess. Let us see what Ishvara has in mind, if so. After all, when it is said here, in Dukhalayam Ashashvatam we are saying, then how can we say next year we'll do this? When once Yudhishthira said, somebody came to him for some, help, come tomorrow morning. Who says? Yudhishthira. So Bhimsen started blowing his drums. So wow, Yudhishthira knows that he's going to allow you tomorrow. When Yudhishthira promised him to give that tomorrow morning, Bhimsen, Yudhishthira knows that he's going to allow you tomorrow morning. But anyway, so whatever Ishvara has in mind, we'll see how it is. But in the meantime, wish you the very best. Continue your study well, come here regularly and continue your study and get the most benefit. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Yeah, Shuddhatma ji will make some announcements.
With Swamiji's Sankalpa and all your Sankalpas together, we'll definitely have Puja Swamiji's presence all the time. So I'm sure Swamiji will be with us all the time, and it's really good to see all of you in this hall after a long time. This is the place where we conducted a number of classes. We have 4 more sweet and short programs to follow, and we'll wrap up the session with lunch. Indic Academy is a digital format has recognized this year two of our acharyas honoring ceremony. It will be done by Swami Viditatmananda. I will soon call Dr. Sajini Sukhadia and read few more details about this award. Secondly, all of our volunteers are here who tremendously helped us to get through the 37th anniversary of the Gurukulam with all success. So a couple of words from Swamiji for further guidance. Then third will be Guru Dakshina. We have patrons with us and also volunteers can join them later. And we'll conclude the temple program here. Afternoon Arati to Lord Dakshinamurti. And Swami Tattvadanji will be arriving tonight and will be with us till 6th of November, and he will be conducting weekend classes, 2-week courses, 2-week courses, 5-week course in Brahma Sutra, etc. So now I request Dr. Sajini Sukhadia to come and give more details about this award. Thank you.
Pranam Swamiji, Pranam Swaminiji. Shuddhatmaji asked to share this information, this write-up. Hari Kiran Vadlamani, a Singapore-based entrepreneur, is investing in Indic Renaissance. Indic Academy, Indica, started in 2015 to preserve and propagate Indic Hindu knowledge, culture, and values. Indica has many verticals, such as Indic Advaita, to help spread Advaita philosophy. They have a YouTube channel all about Advaita talks. Indic Today, a web magazine publishing Indic articles. For example, articles related to Hindu Dharma. Indic Pictures, a once a year event. There's a film festival where films related to our civilization and or our dharmic films are showcased. Indica Yoga, to help support spread of yoga asana and pranayama. Indica Books organizes various workshops and comes out with anthology and many more verticals. Each of these verticals headed by a curator. All of them operate independently and also come together when needed and work towards a Hindu Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth. To inspire people, Indic Advaita is establishing 108 Adi Shankara idols, murtis, at various locations to spread the awareness of Advaita. The concept of grateful to Guru was started a few years ago. It is an initiative to honor Gurus living amongst us today and to acknowledge the silent Gurus amongst us who have played a crucial role in dispelling ignorance and preserving Dharma. Each year, Indica pays tribute to scholars, artists, leaders, and activists who have dedicated decades of their lives to preserving and promoting our culture, while resisting the growing assaults on our dharmic spaces, traditions, gurus, and the essence of Sanatana Dharma. This year, the Dharmacharyas recognized are two of our own acharyas, Sadatmananda Saraswati Swamiji, the Pradhana Acharya of Arsha Vidya Ashram at Anekati, and Swami Swatma Vidyananda Saraswati. The Acharya of Arsha Vijnana Gurukulam in USA. During the COVID period and thereafter, Swamini Swatma Vidyananda Ji touched many lives with her infinite love and kindness. She not only helped many people stay with learning with at least 5 to 6 Zoom Kulam classes every week over and above the retreats she takes at Rishikesh, Sailorsburg, Eugene, etc., but also helped guide scores of people with her infinite wisdom. Usually Swamijis and Swaminijis don't go for any awards or recognitions. But as this being done by her students, with Shraddha and love, she decided to accept the reward, the award. The award consists of a shawl, a memento, and 11,000 rupees. It is the Gurukulam's pleasure that Swami Viditatmananda Ji honor Swamini Ji with this recognition. Swamini Ji is invited to the stage.
Grateful to Guru, Indica pays its obeisance to Swami Swatma Vidyananda Saraswati Ji in recognition of her outstanding and selfless service rendered to Sanatana Dharma. Team Indica, July 2023. And this award is in rupees, I think, is it? 11,000 rupees. But apart from the amount of the award, what is important is the recognition and the honor that is being here offered. And we are very helpful. I'm very happy to see Swamini being honored this way. I know her work and also her impact upon the students. Essentially, wherever she has gone and conducted classes, she has created a good following wherever she has gone, whether it is in Washington, whether it is in Augusta, whether it is Atlanta, whether it is Eugene, or wherever else she may have gone, or she attracts people and she has an impact upon the people and they follow her, which is something we're very happy about, something we're very proud also. And Swaminiji, we are happy and proud both for you and of course wish you all the best, good health, number one, long life and continued good work. Sit down there.
Namaskars to Pujya Swami Viditatmananda Ji. One thing, I want to say 3 things. I thank you very much for your kind words. That is the first thing. And second thing, as it was mentioned, that sannyasis should run the other way from awards. A sannyasi is the one that has raga only for tyaga. That should be the way we strive to live our lives. Pujya Swamiji once told me that if you are in ever a situation of receiving an award, think of two things, he said. One is, what purpose is going to be served by receiving it? And the second thing is, who is the one who is giving it? Those are the two things to consider. If Bhagavan is allowing it, there must be some purpose for the sake of the parampara, for the sake of inspiring people, for the sake of making Vedanta better known than it is. And as we say, the giver of the award is important. For example, if we just open tap water and make this mudra and take this and say this is tirtha, it doesn't become tirtha. When it is given through the mouth of a shankha, the conch shell, then that passing through the conch shell itself sanctifies the water and makes it Bhagavat Prasada. So receiving it from you, Pujya Swami Viditatmananda ji, receiving it from his hands has made the award even more special, even more sacred and worthy of being called Tirtha and Prasadam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Swamiji, and all the best to you. And also today, many volunteers who gave selfless service in organizing and conducting of our anniversary celebration last Sunday. We are very happy for them. Number one, congratulations to all of them that the function went off very well. It was like a clockwork, smooth and clockwork. And that shows the commitment, the willingness, the readiness to be there, to do what is required, whatever is required to do, including pulling chairs here and there, or whether it is carpet, rugs, this, that, whatever is do right away. And so there they don't see what is a chore and that I am required to do without any hesitation. Each one of them did what was required at the right time. And that spirit is something that we appreciate very highly. That spirit, that commitment, and the devotion of Pujya Swamiji and of course devotion of the whole tradition here is also worth noting, very worthwhile. So number one, I am happy seeing this, seeing that we have this in our Gurukulam, seeing that the functions are being celebrated very smoothly and very gracefully. So that's what makes me happy, although I am part of you anywhere still, as an observer. So volunteers, congratulations to you, number one, that you have this attitude, which of course Pujya Swamiji always talks about. Be a contributor, transform yourself from being a consumer to a contributor. And these are the things that we do as act of contributions. And so they have taken to heart that Upadesha or the teaching of Pujya Swamiji, and therefore always ready to support the Gurukulam and do whatever is required. And particularly the anniversary function went off very well. everybody enjoyed. I enjoyed it, and everybody else also enjoyed, whoever I came to know. So we thank you, number one, and wish you all the best, good health, long life, and a continued commitment to, of course, Gurukulam, but mainly to study Vedanta and a life of spiritual growth, a commitment to that. This is what our blessings are to all of you. And with that, I'm pretty sure we'll see you again in other anniversaries. So, there was one little story here. What is it? Somebody blessed, I think a Brahmana blessed somebody that, I will see your third generation. I will see your third generation. So you will have 3 generations. I'll see also. Which is not. I'll be around to see that. He also blessed himself. So when I say that we'll see again, that means we are including ourselves in that. But no need to say that you continue your good work, and we are happy for you with all our blessings. Hari Om.
Thank you, Swamiji. Now, Prasanna, please come and get ready for the Kudakshina program, followed by afternoon Arati. Thank you all. Yeah, so patron members can come first and receive prasadam from Swamiji. Then volunteers can follow. All of us I request you to please stay back and take prasadam from Swamiji and attend the Arati. Then we'll go for lunch. Thank you all.